Bootstrappers? This is Ryan Nickel coming at you with another day in the life of a bootstrap real estate investor. This is episode number 105. So when you get to a point where, there's levels of evolution in this business. I started from just scratch. I didn't know what I was doing. I was basically holding on to the hand of my mentors. He walked me from point A to point B so that I could get my first paycheck. And then from there, I started to see how he was piecing things together. I didn't know the whole story at that point, and I still didn't know the whole story when I was working with him, and I had to figure things out on my own. I had to hire other people and plug in what I thought were holes or gaps. Looking back, the whole thing was there. I just didn't see it or couldn't see it. But that doesn't matter. But you start off on a certain level, and when you're going with this, you have to realize that you're doing this for income first. At least that's what it was for me. When I started this, I was doing this for income. I needed money. I needed cash real bad. And now as I've kind of grown this and I've graduated from that area of my life, thank goodness, and I'm no longer in this scarcity mode where I need to make money like right now, or I'm not going to have food in my food on the table for my kids. Where now it's like, okay, I've grown this thing and I've started to scale a little bit. Now, when you start to scale, at least with me, I'm doing these processes over and over and over and over, and sometimes it gets annoying. And that's what I'm starting to realize. I'm like, okay, there are things that I'm doing that I don't need to be doing. If I need to do them once, twice, 3 times, now it's time to go ahead and automate this or find some kind of way to systematize this. There are times where I've come in and I have a person that's like, hey, I'm ready to go, and you need to get the paperwork ready, and then I'm like, typing out the paperwork, and it takes me literally anywhere between 2 to 3 hours to get this paperwork ready because I have between 12 to 15 different documents that need to go through. And need to be populated with certain things. And it just have been just this long process. And so finally I've realized, and it's not that I just realized, it's just I hadn't had the desire to do that. And I realized that now I need to graduate. I need to grow up. I need to have a system. I need to be able to auto-populate some things. And so I'm proud to say that I have sat down, and it was easy to do, honestly. It wasn't even that difficult. But I sat down, I created myself an Excel spreadsheet with all of the things that need to be populated, and I went ahead and did it. Let me go ahead and show you this here. Alright, so I got all this information. I didn't fill it out completely because this is just a for just a trust, but I have all the information that I would put when I'm doing a regular purchase, and then I go over to my trust document, and bam, everything is auto-populated into it. So it's all taken care of, and I got 9 of these bad boys. We are transferring all of our property out of our names. We will no longer be on title for anything. They'll be all our property will be titled into the name of our trustee and the beneficiary trustees and their successors, and we will have our different entities as far as our beneficiaries. And I was like thinking, I'm like, man, I am not going to do this because we have my trustee is coming to town, and we're going to do this. And I'm like, I'm not going to spend a good, I don't know, 3, 4 possibly hours getting everything over and copying every little thing, making sure I got it right. Because not just these trustee documents, these land trust documents are not the only things that are going to be signed. There are going to be a lot of other information that contracts that we're going to be signing. So I'm going to go ahead and auto-populate all that information as well, because there's no way that I'm going to be doing that. So anyway, this was totally cool. I'm like, you know what? I can totally see how I can scale this business now. So if I wanted to go ahead and partner with someone, let's say in Indiana, if I wanted to go with someone else, in let's say Ohio, I could totally do that. Indiana, Ohio are kind of close. Let's go choose somewhere like in Nebraska or something like that. Maybe that's close too. I don't know. I'm not looking at a map. Doesn't matter. But I can do this in a number of get all the information, loan documents, everything in like maybe 15 minutes tops, and I got the docs created. I'm ready to go. And no more 3 hours trying to create a documentation. I remember this happened the end of June. I was stressing out. I had a buyer that was ready to go. I had a seller who were ready to go, and I hadn't done I procrastinated. It's just some things that I do. I procrastinated doing doing the docs. And I started at 3:30 in the afternoon, and I was supposed to be there at 7 o'clock, and it was going to be it's an hour away. And we're sitting there, and I'm typing this stuff up, and we rolled up to 6:45. I'm like, I can't be there. Push back to 7:30. 7:30 rolls up. I'm not even there yet. It's an hour away. And I didn't finish until 7:45, and then I drove. I kid you not, I'm doing 95, 100 miles an hour to get there in time. They wouldn't have cared if I was later, but that was the pressure that I was putting on myself. It was in that moment when I'm driving, I'm like, you know what is this? What am I doing this for? I could kill myself. And I'm doing this for property, for profit, for money. It's all great. It's all gravy and stuff like that until someone gets hurt. And so, and if that person is me, I mean, what kind of legacy am I leaving my family? I was rushing to get a deal done. I mean, that's just stupid. So it's in that moment where I realized, I'm like, it's time for me to grow up. It's time for me to graduate. It's time for me to have some procedures in place, some systems in place, and this was it. That was the birth of this. That was the genesis that finally got me over the hump to say, okay, fine, let's do this. Because I'm not a techie kind of guy. Like, I love technology, but I'm not the guy that's going to sit down. I'm not a data pusher. That's just the last thing that I want to do, but I realized that this is something I have to do. And I didn't think I could outsource this to somebody else. I didn't think that they would know exactly, or I'd be able to efficiently explain what it is that I wanted it to do. And now that I did it, I'm like, this is super, super simple. And the only way I know how to do this is because I mail merge all of my probate stuff. And so I figured that out over time as I struggled with my probate leads on how to do this stuff. Now I figured all that stuff out. I'm like, oh, it's really not that hard. It's just merge fields and stuff like that. But anyway, for a guy like me, that's just not my expertise. I did it. I'm like, woohoo, I'm done it. So I graduated. Here's the big takeaway that I want for you as a bootstrapper. There are things, I mean, there are times in my life when I'm going through this business and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm doing this thing again, one more time. What are the things in your business that you're doing that you can systematize? So this isn't a video post about, oh, Ryan has his things automated, Ryan can do this. It's about systemization, systematizing things so that you can become more efficient. What are the things in your business that you're doing that are redundant, that are taking away energy? I mean, for me, it was a total energy drop. I was like, oh, 3 hours trying to do this, and now I'm gonna go meet with a buyer, and I'll go meet with a seller, and then a buyer. And I'm already drained mentally, and I got to be on my game because they all have questions about, hey, how's this working? What's going on here? And so that's just not me at my highest level. So what are things in your business that you're doing, or if you don't have a business, if you're just getting started, what are some of the daily tasks that you're doing that you can go ahead and you can automate, or that you can systematize so that they're not so much of a drain on you, so that you can be in your A game every single day. When you show up, you can be bam in power. That's what this is about. So anyway, I'm Ryan Nickel. I just got that thing done. It is 2:45 on a Friday afternoon. I'm taking my family to the water park. So I'll see y'all later.